can music help you feel at home? It certainly has been the case for me. Before I dive into my provocation about a certain composition from my album Finding Home, I'd like to tell you a small backstory because that ties into my provocation. So I grew up in a house full of music, books, and literature from all over the world. My parents signed me up to the Music Institute when I was 6. Between 6 and 8, I was training in music theory, and then when I was 8, there came the key moment of having to choose one musical instrument. It was a very big decision. My parents suggested the violin. You might ask why. It is because at the time, that was part of a notion of being fascinated with the West in the Arab world. This fascination translated in across the board through art, sculpture, literature, music, cinema, and certainly found its way to my household. I have taken my parents' suggestion and have taken a couple of classes until one day I was heading to the Music Institute with my mother. I was 8 years old. The taxi driver turned the radio on and there came the sound of this. And I completely and instantly fell in love with it. I told him, "What is this instrument? This is the instrument I want to play." He laughed at me. He said, "You're a girl. This instrument is for men." And I told him it will happen. That very night, the head of the institute walks into our music theory class and announces the opening of a new class. It was a qanun class. And I instantly signed up, and I had, with the grace of my parents, a very big qanun, which was 5 times my size, waiting for me on the coffee table after school. Now fast forward to now, to my provocation from my latest album, Finding Home. I have been performing everywhere, and I have been expanding my musical expression with different tools. Finding Home is about the state of feeling at home, as opposed to it being a place. And one of the pieces that were composed as part of the Finding Home album was commissioned by Opera North, and it was recorded by a stunning quartet from Opera North's orchestra. When it comes to putting a musical instrument that is so traditional, such as the qanun, with a strong quartet, which comes from the Western music tradition, a lot of people ask me, are you trying to create a West meet East experience? And my answer to this is that I always do what is best for the musical resonance, for the emotional resonance of the piece, as opposed to having a logical reason for having a string quartet. So for this piece, for this lullaby, I wanted the deep voices and sounds of the quartet to have to basically to be a sonic representation of the mother's hug. So this composition, a bit of a background on about this composition is that I have seen an image of a mother fleeing for her life, holding her baby, singing for her baby with a bomb blast in the background. And she is moving forward towards this better future for herself and her baby, singing, ignoring the sound of the bombs. And for that I wrote Lullaby, a promise of a rainbow, because we all hold on to this promise. And the quartet was really to bring in the voice of that mother that can be from anywhere, can be from any conflict zone, not only from Syria. And she is taking herself and her baby to that land of hope, to that land of the rainbow. And coming back to the first story I told you, I believe that with the qanun meeting the violin for the first time in my composition journey, and for the qanun to meet a string quartet from Opera North for the first time, it is, in a way, it's an encounter of the other. But because the way I see music as a true expression of my spirituality, and because in this album I find home in humanity and in the earth, by encountering the other, I am really encountering myself, for I see us all as one. Thank you. Now please enjoy Lullaby, a promise of a rainbow.